Hi, and welcome along to AFTV. We are here for the big game tonight. Arsenal versus Bodo Glimt in the Europa League. Only our second game in the Europa League so far this season because, of course, with the Queen's funeral, our previous game against PSV was delayed. So a very important game for Arsenal. We want to get 3 points on the board. And you cannot take a team for granted in this competition, as we are watching on the screen behind us. Manchester United losing 1-0 at the moment to Ammonia Nicosia of Cyprus, right? Who, when I spoke to Flex the other day during the week, all he could talk about going over there for was to go to Ayanapa, right, which is nearby. Now, if you don't take these teams seriously, you can be defeated. So we got to take this one seriously tonight. Joining me to discuss the starting 11, Lee Judges, the judges in the building. Right. We got Julian here and Sharoy. Sharoy. Bringing some knowledge to proceedings. So let's go straight to Sharoy.
I've got knowledge.
Sharoy.
That's your ticket gone for the
As I said, Sharoy.
Yeah.
We're looking at the game behind us. You know, that is proof already, if we didn't need it, that if you don't take teams seriously in this competition, you're going to be in trouble. Man United at the moment losing 1-0 going into half-time in that game. No one would have thought that.
And they got a strong side.
That's what I was going to say. Looking at their starting 11, it looks like they were taking them seriously. Whatever's happened on the pitch, I mean, God knows. But to be honest, looking at what Arteta did against Zurich, I still think there'll be 2 or 3 first-teamers in the 11 that we choose tonight. I'm sure we'll get onto the starting 11s, but not just because of what it does for the Europa League group, but winning breeds winning, man. That mentality is important, you know. We've just come off a big win. We've got another big game this week. I'd love nothing more than to carry that momentum into this week and not have to worry about a loss. You know, let's just do our business tonight and then on to the weekend.
Do you risk players, Lee? You know, as Sharoy just said, we've got a huge game coming up at the weekend against Liverpool. We want to go into that game with all of our best players ready for action. Does he do wholesale changes tonight and rest up all of the key players?
Yeah, I think he should. I think he should make wholesale changes because 5 or 6 of them have been on the bench most of the time and deserve a chance. You know, Tomiyasu, by the way, is not making the team any weaker. You know what I mean? Possibly could be making it stronger. There's an argument for that, like, you know. Eddie up front deserves to be playing. I'm desperate to watch Marquinhos after his performance out in Zurich. You know, Lukonga needs to have minutes, so Rob Holding needs to have minutes. So I expect to see a lot of changes, you know. I mean, Turner in goal, I know he's your new mate, isn't he? Like, you know what I mean? So let's hope he plays all right. Let's hope he plays all right, you know what I mean? So apparently he was an NFL footballer or something, wasn't he? Like, you know?
He used to play NFL, he told me. Yeah.
Obviously, dropping the ball.
I didn't tell him that you once called him, what was it?
Anthea.
Anthea Turner. I mean. But what about you? I mean, I seem to remember you rightly saying to me that you should never rest players for these games. Go in there with your strongest team and stuff like that.
Yeah, changed my mind.
What happened?
No, I've looked at Bodo. I've looked at what we've got on Sunday, and I've looked at the squad that we've got. And as Lee said, the squad that we've got, okay, the players coming in, the fact that they are a second string would indicate that they are slightly weaker, but I'm going to emphasise the word slightly. And also you have to give these players a run out, because if you do need them, it's very difficult to come in totally cold. So I think every player that we've mentioned that can come in, and we can make pretty much 11 changes, yes, you could say it slightly weakens us, but it is really just slightly. And as Lee said, there's an argument to say...
I know about slightly.
Well, there's some players that come in, you could argue, as Lee said, that they
some
could actually...
a couple, but not, I wouldn't say throughout the team is slightly.
Look at the middle of the park.
We've got Tierney,
yeah, exactly.
Vieira.
Yeah. I mean, what Vieira did against Brentford, Tomiyasu. But the other side of it is give them a run out, give them that opportunity. Even Marquinhos, we've seen so little of him, but what we've seen of him, he looks like he could give Saka a run. Maybe not straight away, but you give him a few games, you give him the confidence, and Saka, okay, he's definitely the number one for that position. But you've seen, of all the players that we've got at the moment, he's the one that looks like he could need a rest. So you need to give these guys a chance. You know, someone like Marquinhos, a bit of a run, give him that confidence so he can come in and fill in.
I don't disagree with that, but there are 3 positions. Like who do you have partnering holding in the middle of the defence? Who do you have partnering Lokonga in the middle of the midfield? And who do you have instead of Martinelli? Those are the three where I think he will still go. Maybe Gabriel, Xhaka and Martinelli. I think those three might play. That's the thing.
I guess if you're looking at the players, centre-back position, I mean, it's going to have to be Gabriel, isn't
That's
it?
what I'm thinking.
I can't think of who.
It doesn't have to be. You can have Tomiyasu and Cedric at right back.
Okay, but that's a lot of changes. In midfield, I guess Fabio Vieira comes in. So, but
Lokonga.
does Xhaka play? Does Xhaka have to play?
Zinchenko.
That's the only one that I would probably keep in.
Do you then risk both left backs playing?
I don't think Zinchenko even trained. I don't think he was with the squad.
Yeah, apparently he wasn't with the squad yesterday. And then up front, Martinelli, I guess you could play a Reece Nelson, but Reece Nelson's had no game time whatsoever, and you've got to take this team seriously. Bodo Glimt, just remind you, right? They've beaten last season. They beat Celtic home and away. They've beaten Roma before.
I think they banged 6 against Roma.
They banged 6 against Roma. You know what I mean? So obviously a team not to be taken lightly. I saw where their manager was saying, "Listen, we watched Tottenham play." We watch these teams play, they just defended. We're not coming to defend, we're coming to attack. And we all want to get the job done tonight because next week, I was chatting to a Norwegian journalist during the week. He was reminding me that they play on an artificial pitch. There is no way he's going to be wanting to risk guys like Kieran Tierney and people like that next week, you know, on a cold Thursday evening over in Norway on an artificial pitch. No chance. So we got to get the job done today.
Yeah, but
really, to have 6 points in the bag.
But if you look at the majority of Bodo's results, the good results they've had, they've all been at home for those reasons. That artificial pitch, the fact that teams have got to travel so far to get there.
Didn't they get a draw though against PSV? At PSV.
Yeah, I said the
majority.
Yeah, that's a very good. That's a very good result.
Well, they've had 5 away games so far in Europe this season, and they've not won one of them.
But getting a draw away at PSV is a very credible result. That is a very good result.
It would seem that PSV have a reputation of being a good team. I've not seen anything of them yet.
If a reputation of being a good team, they are a good team. They've got very good players. It's expected to be either us or them who win the group. They went away and got a draw at PSV. You've got to respect that.
Respect it, but look at the history of this team, Bodo, and where they get the majority of their results.
I'm saying you can't take him lightly. It's all right saying we throw in Reece Nelson. He's not played at all this season. He's been out injured.
You'd take
He's
the
had
risk
no
with Martinelli?
pre-season.
I don't want, Martinelli fresh.
Yeah.
I want him fresh, but I'm trying to think who else.
This is the problem when Smith Rowe's injured.
What about the young 15-year-old that come on? What's his name?
Yeah, but he's not a left back.
He's
not a left winger.
What position does he play?
Manera is an attacking midfielder.
Right, well, there you go then.
But Vieira will play in there.
Is that taking Bodo Glimt seriously if you make all those changes and put all those...
If these players are good enough, this is the game to play them in. If you can't play them against Bodo at home, when are you ever going to play them? What's the point of having them in the squad?
I'm not saying you don't play them, but what's wrong with starting relatively strong with maybe 3 first-teamers, sealing the deal, then bringing them on? It's less risky, isn't it?
That's what I think. I think if
we
are watching right now a fairly strong Manchester United team play Ammonia Nicosia I'd never heard of until this tie was put together, and they're losing 1-0. You've got to take these games seriously.
It's an attitude rather than players.
It's a competition we want to progress in. In this, the new format of the Europa League is if you win the group, you go automatically through. If you don't, you ain't got to play like a little playoff thing.
Around the 16.
You know what I mean? You've got to play like a little sort of knockout thing against another team that comes second. That's 2 extra games.
That's the thing.
You know, I mean, to me, I'm looking on it and I'm saying to myself, we need to take this seriously. Yeah, look at that, what they're showing you there. At the moment, United, as it stands, bottom of their group.
That's beautiful.
Right? So
can we take a picture of that?
Can we just freeze that?
Well, listen, it's only half time, but that's Sheriff and Ammonia in their group.
Yeah.
So
I'm a Sharif.
Yeah.
Well, we're laughing, I don't think we should laugh too soon.
Listen,
let's enjoy it.
With you.
Yeah.
But I am confident at first.
I'm in no way being negative. I'm just sending a warning where this is not just a game where you just
listen. Have him on the bench if things go wrong.
15-year-old kids and people like that.
I remember at Nuremberg. I know it was only a friendly. We was 2-0 down, and we brought all the big guns on. We ended up winning easy, 4-2.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, keep them on your powder dry. I don't want to see Jesus playing. I don't want to see Martinelli playing. I certainly don't want to see Xhaka playing, especially the ones that have been on England duty, international duty. Xhaka, for instance, has been played both 90 minutes for Switzerland. You know what I mean? He's an important key player for us going forward. Especially when you look at it, we're talking, we're going to have to play Xhaka because we ain't got no midfield players. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so this keep him in cotton wool, because if anything did happen to Xhaka or Partey, we are in the old stew, as they say.
You're saying 11 changes?
I'm saying 11 changes.
I'm saying
Ashai says Liverpool were full strength yesterday. One Martinelli won't hurt, he says.
That's Champions League. The thing is, if you're in the Champions League, you really can't rotate like that because
Yeah.
you'll get battered.
Librova said I'd play a similar team to the Zurich
Yeah.
game. That's what he's saying. And Hunter says we have a very busy October, Robbie, with a big game against Liverpool this weekend. The changes are necessary. I'd put in the under-21s before Martinelli. Now, I'm saying changes are necessary. I expect a much changed team. But I'm just saying that I'm with Sharoy. I think we need to have a few hitters in there.
I'm literally saying three. I'm literally saying three. One at the back, one in the middle, and one on the left flank.
I'll play Gabriel.
Same.
At the back.
Same.
Also, I think he could do
Why
some
if you're saying it, why aren't you playing your best players?
Yeah.
Well, no, you want to. I don't want to see Gabriel Jesus play at all, if need be.
Oh.
I don't want to see Thomas Partey. I don't even think he should be there. He should be at home rested. That's one player, injury-prone player, cannot afford to risk. Saliba, I don't think he should even be there either. I'd have him at home. But who is going to play on that left-sided centre-back position, like Sharoy says? Who's the backup?
Do you remember?
I mean, you could play Tomiyasu. Was it Tomiyasu and Holding?
Disrupting the entire back four.
But
They haven't done that this
Cedric
season.
has not played a minute. Oh, I think
So when is he going to play? When is he going to get minutes?
I know,
exactly
but I'm
it.
saying, do you want to throw him? This is going to be this game for Bodo Glimt. This is their cup final. This is probably the biggest game in their history. Coming to London to play Arsenal at the Emirates. Probably never dreamed. First time we've ever played them. Could be the last time we ever played them, or it could be the next 30 years before we play them again, right? So they're coming. They're going to be chomping at the bit. Every single one of those players are going to be looking to put in their best performance, right? It's, if you take them lightly. So I think we need a few hitters in the team. Can't be talking about putting 15-year-old kids and that in the.
Yeah, not just in a 15-year-old kid, but we've got enough quality in our second string to get over.
If we haven't, there's a problem.
If we haven't, we can stock the bench with the first team.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's not all we always agree, but we agree today, like, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's more strain on players to have to come on and chase a game if we're 1 or 2-0 down, because then they have to go full gas. Whereas if you start them in the first half and it's 2-0, then Cedric gets his
from
minutes.
the start, and we want that second string team to be chomping at the bit, which I think they will do, because they've got the same attitude and they're desperate to play on Sunday.
But eight of the 11 I'm talking about are so-called second string. I'm literally just talking a sprinkle of first teamers. That's all it is.
It's close enough for them to get a sniff. You look at Vieira, he's knocking on the door.
No, but I'm saying he should start.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them like that.
All right, give me your team.
Okay.
In goal,
Turner.
Yeah.
right back.
If Cedric, it all depends on the fitness.
He said on Twitter he's fully fit, ready to go.
Okay, then I have Cedric.
When was the last time he
Then
played?
I had
Two centre backs.
Tomiyasu and Holding.
Right.
Left back Tierney.
Midfield now.
I would have
Holding.
Holding
Midfield. I mean.
Holding midfield. Okay. This is the one where I'm struggling. Yeah, well, I'd have Lokonga in there. I'm just deciding whether I'd play Xhaka. I think I'd probably go with Xhaka because I can't think of a good alternative.
So Lokonga.
Yeah.
Xhaka.
I would have. Yeah, and then I want Marquinhos definitely in there and Vieira.
Right. So Fabio Vieira.
Yeah.
Right side to midfield, and then Marquinhos.
Eddie up top, probably.
Eddie has to be.
So
out.
who's on the left?
Nelson.
Yeah, I'd have Nelson. Depends on the fitness. I'm not sure about the fitness levels. If I don't have him there, then I'd look to mix it around. Maybe have
Who then?
There's no one.
There's no one.
If Nelson can't start,
I'd have to probably go with Martin.
Exactly, because Smith Rowe's injured. That's what I'm saying.
Because there's nothing else
That's what I'm
there.
saying.
But I don't want to see him there.
We're light on that flank.
Exactly the same team.
Exactly the same team.
But Shinchenko.
Instead of Martinelli.
Shinchenko instead
he's
of.
fit, because we don't.
Yeah, if he's fit, Shinchenko instead of Xhaka.
You want him in the middle.
Yeah, I don't want to see Xhaka today.
James wants him in there as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Or have we not got a wide player that plays in the under-21s?
What about you, Sharoy? What would you like to see?
I'm going Tomiyasu right back. So Gabriel's in the middle.
Who's
at
in
the
goal?
back. Turner. Tomiyasu right back.
Ain't played a lot, Turner.
Holding, Gabriel. And Tierney in the middle. I'm going Xhaka, Lokonga. Vieira in the 10. And then the front three, Marquinhos I agree with, Eddie I agree with. And I think we're light on the left. I think it's too risky to start Reece there right now. So I'd go Martinelli.
I'll put you all out of your misery.
Oh,
I'll give you the team.
All right.
I'm just actually out a bit early.
It's out early.
So I think it's a lot of the journos reporting it. Here's one journo who's quite a reliable journo. He says Turner in goal, Tomiyasu, Holding, Gabriel and Tierney.
Yep.
Okay.
Lokonga, Xhaka,
Yep.
Vieira,
Yep.
Marquinhos,
Yep.
Eddie Nketiah, and
Martinelli.
Reece Nelson.
Reece Nelson.
Martin.
Where's my money?
Nelly.
Literally the
Which is,
11 I
by
just
the way,
named.
I
Literally
got
the
it
11 I just
completely spot on again when I did my 11, previewing the game. Listen, if you want to...
He didn't ask us what we thought. He just asked us what we would have played.
If you want to check
change
the
your
question. Hold on a minute. If you want to check the fountain of knowledge, right, make sure
Don't
every
worry.
week, right, you watch the
never
Starting
asked us
11 show. With me and James, I got it spot on. The last Europa League game, I got that one spot on as well.
Wasn't it the same 11 for Zurich as this?
That is the same 11 that played against Zurich.
There you go.
That wasn't a question, was
yeah,
it?
it is.
No, Tommy, yeah.
So, Cedric and Reece Nelson are on the bench.
Zinchenko?
And who else on the bench?
Is Zinchenko on the bench?
Hold on, let me see if I can get the full.
Oh no, you should know it by your terms of
No,
endearment.
but that's what they're saying. I asked the starting 11. You know what I mean?
It's just
All right,
asked us
hold
what
on.
we'd play.
Well, I've got
and
the
then
official
we've
now.
been
Now I've
straight
got the official.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Right, I've got the official
So
now.
it's completely different.
Right, it's the same team.
All right, good.
Right, so same team. On the bench, Hein, he's the backup goalkeeper, of course. Ben White, Cedric, William Saliba, Thomas Partey on the bench. Serjan, I don't know who he is, that's a new name to me. Serjan on the bench, Smith, Saka, Nelson, Odegaard, and Jesus. That is the bench.
That's just in case things go
No, who's missing? Who's missing? Who have we not mentioned?
Zinchenko?
No Zinchenko, even on the bench.
That's a worry if he keeps getting injured now, isn't it?
Librova says exact same lineup. Me and Sharoy called is Zurich 11. So, what do you make of the team?
I'll take that. I'll take that. Hold on, what would, so what, if
Listen,
the question was, what do you think Arteta would have done? Would you have said he's sticking?
Look, listen, if it was, if I thought that was a team, that would probably what I would have gone with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've actually would have gone with. I'm surprised he's put Martinelli in there, especially after.
It depends on Reece Nelson.
Who are you going to
Depends
play?
on Reece
Because
Nelson's
Reece Nelson
fitness.
has not played a minute.
Well, this is the problem with
Since
Smith Rowe
he's had
going out,
no-
because if Smith Rowe was fit, he would have been playing.
Yeah, Smith Rowe didn't play, but
100%.
Reece Nelson, remember, has not even had a pre-season.
No.
So, put him in from the start, hopefully-
the other thing is with Martinelli, he's probably not too bad because he didn't go on international duty neither, so he's had a little bit of a rest. So probably ain't a bad thing for him, you've either got to play Partey or Xhaka, and at the end of the day, Partey's just not.
it's very difficult to rest. It's very difficult to rest everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at United's team at the moment; they've gone very strong. Even Rashford's playing, all of them. So it's still early in the season.
He
as well.
He must have come on at half time then, Rashford. Didn't he?
Okay, but he's still early in the season, so these guys should be
But
fit.
it's more important to have the attitude right rather than the players. If you've got the right attitude, it has so much difference. I mean, these Man United players, they're on a downer, aren't they? They think they're going to lose. They're not confident in themselves. They're not happy playing for Man
I
United.
think they're going to lose against them.
I don't know about that.
Because they go onto the pitch with a poor attitude. You can see the body language.
How we lost to these, I don't know. We should have stuffed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
should
looking
have
forward to seeing Marquinhos play.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it in the flesh.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of pace in this game, isn't there? Down the two wings. But I'm looking forward to him playing. And if as the Norwegian manager was saying that they're a team that come to attack, that will leave spaces for.
On what he was saying, you know what he was borderline critical of Arsenal and our tactics. He was like, well, actually, you talk about Arteta, but his tactics are quite simple.
Yeah.
Whoever's on the left-hand side, they invert. They don't have the quality to do it on the right, and they leave space in behind, and that's what we're going to exploit. And I was like, bruv, if it was that easy, we wouldn't be top of the Premier League. Just chill for a minute.
Yeah, he
you know
was.
what I mean?
I did think he was. The way he was talking was almost like. Man City are coming to town. You know what I mean? The way he's. But
if they are going to come at us and try and get in behind, I think we've got goals in us.
But
Because they've conceded a lot this year. From what I
he
can
does
see.
sound like an attacking manager. I mean, he was one of the managers being considered by Brighton for that job. So, you know, obviously a decent manager. But I think, you know, I'm glad that Martinelli's playing in a way because, you know, we wouldn't risk him if he weren't fit. He's a young lad.
Yeah, he's not played that much, a lot of football neither, has he? If I'll be honest, you know what I mean, in his career so far.
Like you said, there was no. He weren't away with the
I
national
think
team.
that maybe that has come into
2 weeks off, and I just feel I've also got a feeling that Mikel Arteta's looking at this and thinking, let's get these 3 points. I mean, you always need to win your home games. But when I heard that next week is on an artificial pitch, I'm just thinking, I'm looking down that list, right, and I'm thinking, well, number one, no Partey.
Yeah.
He won't be going to that for sure. I don't think Tierney will play on an artificial pitch
But
either.
would you want to risk Inning as well if he's not trained and he's not in the squad? That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, both the left backs are relatively fragile in that sense.
Artificial pitches, you know what I mean, where you can pick up a lot of injuries, you know what I mean?
There, I wouldn't be surprised for 11 changes on that pitch. That I think he might do it.
If we win tonight, but you wouldn't want to say drop points or lose tonight where you say to yourself, right, now we've got to go there next week and get a win, so we need to go out all out. We need to bring Jesus in and this player and that player in.
And it's a tough job. It's a tough job as a manager because I can't remember exactly. It might have been the FA Cup against Southampton the season before last when he made wholesale changes and we got dumped out.
Yeah.
And there the narrative was, mate, what were you thinking changing the whole front three and
Yeah,
changing the whole back four? I
team.
understand that, but this is still a game that we really do need to win to feel confident that we're going through top in this group.
It's Bodo.
but and also it's a group thing, isn't it? Like, you know, we should still have enough to quit. I do agree with Robbie though. That there must be a little bit of a fault on this not playing the 2 games afterwards. You know, what I mean, win your group and you get 2 less games. I think there's a big thing in that.
Yep. A says, Gabby, Brazilians, they come and score. I've been singing that since Derby Day. Super versatile. Tommy can play at left back next week, says Ash I. I've never seen him play at left back.
Cedric can.
This guy here, Miguel, says AFTV needs a hair growth shampoo sponsorship for these 3.
He left me out of that one. He left me out of that one.
Before and after that, very like, how rude.
Yeah, he never said which 3, did he?
How rude.
Michael says we need a fundraiser for Shiroi to take the boys to Turkey for some hair.
Listen, to be honest, bro, I've got enough. I've got the Persian rug under here. If you don't need a donation, man, don't worry. I'll sort you out.
Simifinam says it's Bald Fan TV. I didn't really have it a go.
Is this the first time you 3 have been on together in ages or something?
No. It's because you're able to hear, you see.
Sorry,
so,
man,
I mean,
sorry. My bad. I'll wear a hat next time, man. I'll wear a hat next time.
Yeah, we'll get Zach on here because Zach just swapped over with Zach.
Let's get some predictions. Shiroi.
I'm going 3-0 for this one. I think if their manager wasn't talking nonsense, they're actually going to come and take it to us. And that's where, in transition, I think we'll be fine. Because of Xhaka, because of Martinelli, because of Marquinhos. Eddie, by the way, when he's come on, he really has looked good. He's not going to get the flowers that he deserves right now. One, because he hasn't necessarily converted it into goals when he's come on, and he's been doing the job. And Jesus has just been killing the game. But I think these are the games where Eddie really will shine. And I'd be very, very upset if we conceded to these tonight, if I'm being honest with you. Because Gabriel's starting as well.
Yeah, I think we are going to concede a goal.
How come?
But we're going to beat them 4-5-1.
Why do you reckon we'll concede?
Because the way they play, they'll come at us and they'll leave themselves open. It might just be a consolation goal. I can't see us losing. I really can't see from where they get their results. I know this is a team that's had the best few years that they've ever had in their whole history, bar none. They're as high as they could be, but even this season, I think they're like 15 points off top place.
They've conceded a lot, Julian. They've conceded
exactly.
a lot.
I can see them conceding a lot of goals. I can see them getting a consolation. I think they will get a goal, but I think we'll run out 4-5-1.
Chitiana, by the way, says, are we playing Xhaka and Martinelli too much? Oh, listen, they're fit, guys. Your prediction?
4-0. I'm going to be, like this. And I love Julian, but, he did think that Spurs would win on Saturday.
I didn't
He
say
did say that.
Yeah, you know what? I was having, I couldn't believe it. I was, I had to do that interview on TV, right? And I was coming back in the car. And when United just scored, by the way, it's a good goal.
No, it's a foul.
It's a foul. That's a goal.
That's a goal.
Rashford.
Good goal, by the way.
It was a good goal.
There's no such thing as a good United goal.
Yeah, to hear you saying that you had a dream that we were going to lose.
But did you hear his fan cam? Apparently he had another dream that he didn't tell you about.
Yeah,
That's
but I
what
don't
it was,
believe
isn't
it.
it?
No,
I think he,
I
I think he just dropped that in his damage limitation.
Yeah, damage limit, that's a
You
good
know,
word.
And he had
right.
to look at all the people around him who were in shock, horror, when they heard that.
Oh, this could be
You're
offside.
whipping them up.
This could be offside.
I wasn't whipping him up. You know what I mean? But
Oh, that is a good goal.
Yeah, but I was glad to be wrong. Very happy to be wrong.
He might be offside.
it was a good goal there. Rashford, would you have Rashford? There's talk today linking him with.
I think he's a
with
good
Arsenal.
player.
Would you have him?
He's out of contract this season, or
Yeah, I'll
next?
take him. For
Yeah, well, I think they got one of them things where they've got an option to extend.
I'll take him
but
for free.
it is 1-1 in that game, though. Man United won.
Yeah, I like Rashford. I do like him. Like, you know, I think that I don't know about this season. He seems a little bit better this season, but I think he was one of those players last season that just went stale, didn't he?
A lot of them did for that team, man.
So he seems to have been energised this season. So
Yeah.
listen, they'd be very
Yeah.
very hard for him to let him go. I think.
Yeah.
What's
I mean,
your
this-
score prediction?
Sorry?
What's your score prediction?
My prediction, actually, I said 3-0 as well. I just feel that, we're going to have enough to beat them at home. Listen, we're on fire at home.
Yeah.
We're confident at the moment. And even if they were to score a goal, which I'm going for a clean sheet tonight. Even if they were, we've got all that firepower on the bench that we can bring on to turn the game. But I do think, hopefully, we won't need them. I'm looking at some of the players tonight, and I'm saying that this is an opportunity, a huge opportunity, for players like Eddie Nketiah, for players like Marquinhos, to prove their worth, and also they're going to be chomping at the bit. This will be the first game I think Eddie started, isn't it, this season at the Emirates?
Yeah.
Marquinhos, this is going to be his debut
At the Emirates.
at the Emirates, isn't it, in front of a big crowd? You know what I mean? So these guys are going to be mad excited to.
It must be buzzing to
put in
play
it.
in front of the Emirates
Yeah,
at the moment, because I don't know of all the video footage you've seen this week. It was mad in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I think it'll still be a great atmosphere in there again today. So they want to play in front of the Emirates crowd.
And even guys like Rob Holding, Matt Turner, they've got a lot. They've been sitting on
Your
the
mates,
bench.
Yeah, your boys.
Again,
Yeah. You got a WhatsApp group with them now, yeah? You're
I
good.
ain't got no WhatsApp group with them, right? But they'll be chomping at the bit as well to do well. Like they were saying to me, there's going like everybody in the squad is buzzing.
Yeah.
So once they get their chance now, and we want these guys have to be on the ready in case of anything, because we know our history of injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So important that say a Rob Holding comes in tonight and helps us to keep a clean sheet. I think Gabriel, who's had a few little shaky moments in recent times, important to give him game time to sharpen up. So
Yeah, of course he didn't go, did he?
That's the thing. Two of the three first
yeah,
teamers
he didn't go. Jesus didn't go either. So
Saliba did. So
yeah.
you know what I mean.
I'm hoping that
makes
we don't
sense.
even have to bring none of those big guns on.
So am I.
Or if we bring them on, it's like a little 10-minute run out.
10, 20 minutes, give them a run.
Yeah, run out at the end of the game or something like that. Because but as I said, I do think Mikel Arteta might be looking at it and thinking, let's get this. But I don't want to be going to artificial pitch, looking to get a result.
I really want Marquinhos to get a goal today, because you saw that goal that he scored against Zurich. He was away and he was borderline tears, man.
Yeah.
So if he gets a goal at the Emirates and the fans show him that love, it could do wonders for the kid. I really want him to score today.
Yeah, and he's a very exciting player. Pacey.
Have you seen the size of his calves?
Yeah.
He is a tank.
Yeah, he's a bit.
He's
physically.
it's mad.
Physically, I think physically he's up for it.
He's beyond his years.
Yeah, he looks older than 17.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
He looks older than 17.
I thought he was 19, wasn't he?
No, he's 17.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's only 17.
17, kid, young kid.
I didn't know. I thought he was a bit older.
And
than that.
I'd love to see Reece Nelson get on as well.
Yeah.
He's only 22 now.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Still hasn't really done it at Arsenal. Again, massive opportunity for him, and time for him to start producing. So, it's going to be a very, very interesting game. For everybody who didn't, there might be a lot of people sort of tuning in right now to hear the score, and to hear the starting lineup. And the starting lineup is already out. The starting lineup came out early, so to give it to you again, in goal is Matt Turner, at right back Tomiyasu. The two centre backs are Rob Holding and Gabriel. Kieran Tierney at left back. A midfield of Lokonga, Xhaka, and Fabio Vieira. And then up front, on the right side will be Marquinhos, on the left side Martinelli, and straight down the middle it will be Eddie Nketiah. On the bench, Hein, White, Cedric, Saliba, Partey, Serjan, who new name for me, Smith, Saka, Nelson, Odegaard and Jesus. So ample firepower on the bench if it's going wrong. But that is the team to play Bodo Glimt tonight in the Europa League. Huge game for Arsenal. Second game in the Europa League, and we'll be wanting to get the job done. So looking forward to the game. You're going to be at the game?
I am, yeah.
You're going to be at the game? Sure, you're going to be on the watch along?
I will be indeed.
Right, we've got a great watch along coming up for you guys as well. Also, Cecil and James are going to be around as well. So make sure you check them out as well. They're going to be in the building as well.
Dynamic duo.
So yeah, make sure you check that out. So
How about dynamic?
just one there before we go. James Turner says, hi Robbie, I think we can win the game tonight and go into the game on Sunday against Liverpool with a refreshed team. And can you say hi? He said, say hi to MT. He's one of my favourite pundits on AFTV with you. All right, so, and yeah, just a lot of people looking for you. By the way, a lot of people saying to you, Marquinhos is 19. 19, yeah.
Did I say 19, Rocky?
You did.
You did say 19,
It
yeah.
was 17.
19.
You did.
He's 19. All right.
Look
Point
how
of
happy he is there, look.
19.
Don't ever listen to him. Thinks we're going to concede a goal, thinks Spurs are going to win and don't even know the age of Marquinhos. There you go. There you go.
All right, so guys, listen, thanks very much for watching. As I said, come back in about half an hour's time. That's when we're going to be starting Match Day Live for the game tonight. Arsenal versus Bodo Glimt. Also, we're going to be speaking to fans outside the game as well when it finishes and get their opinions, as well as here in the studio. But thanks for watching. Sharoy, thank you. Julian,
Not at all, man.
Also Lee, and thanks to you guys for tuning in, and see you back here in half an hour.